Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and Chuck is already bailing out. I am coming at you, though, with some breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders, they have gone out, and they have signed edge rusher Tashawn Bower. Now, Bauer last season spent some time with the New England Patriots, and he's been simply bouncing around the NFL since he went undrafted back in 2017. So what's going to be coming up here on today's show is I'm just going to be breaking down the latest move. It's not a blockbuster deal by any means, but with the NFL draft coming up shortly, also a lot of voluntary workout news today because since the Raiders went ahead and they hired their new head coach, Josh McDaniels, if you go ahead and do that, then those teams can go ahead and they can start their workout process 2 weeks early. So we'll go ahead and we'll talk about some of the news regarding that. But the thing that I wanted to hit on the head today that literally just happened, the Raiders, they go out, they sign Bauer. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's going to be a 1-year deal, probably for the vet min at the absolute most. Since he was undrafted out of LSU, 6'5", 250-pounder, hasn't really done anything. And in fact, he's played in only 20 games his entire career and has started in only 3. I will say, though, his only 3 starts came in 2020 when he played with the New England Patriots, and then last season spent some time with Minnesota, and he spent some time with New England. Now, the team that signed him back in 2017 was actually the Minnesota Vikings. He was able to play in 2 games there, had only 1 tackle, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit. Then in 2018, he got 5 games, has some special teams experience as well, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. And then back in 2020, which was probably his best season, and you're talking about just 7 games, was able to start in 3, had 11 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 PBU. And then last season, played with the Vikings, played with New England again, 1 sack, 3 tackles, 1 quarterback hit, and 1 tackle for loss. When I saw that the Raiders went ahead and did this, I was like, oh man, all right, I'll go ahead. I'll try to break it down for y'all. And you know, that's the job here for the Raiders Board. Always doing what we can to keep you guys up to date on the latest news and rumors. So after hearing some of those stats, the fact that he's got 20 games of experience and most of his best play has come with New England, what I want you to do right now is go down to the comments section and just simply give me a grade of the latest signing around Tashawn Bower. So A, you love it, B, it's good, C, it's average, D, it's bad, F, it's a fail. When I think about the move here, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a C- grade. I don't know too much about Bauer, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all. I watched some quick tape right before I filmed this video. He has some athletic ability. I liked him coming out of high school, good overall prospect, and a lot of the notes on him when he first came out of high school, or he's a pretty solid recruit. Big play body, tried to use, I would say, a little bit more power, was never really able to develop into a full pass rusher, what you're looking for. But if you have good coaches, maybe you can find a good spot for him, and most likely he's a practice squad guy if he makes the team, or somebody who you can also go ahead and use in special teams. Now, my job here is to keep you guys up to date, but we also like to have a good time as well. I put out a video earlier this morning around Raiders mock drafts, where there's one from ESPN, there was another one from our local supporters. Whatever happens during the offseason, I'll keep you guys up to date. So please hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and then remember, whether it's the offseason or not, you're going to get a video every single day here on the channel. Sometimes you get 2 or 3, right, if there's breaking news like you just saw now. And then on top of that, we go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So please hit that subscribe button. All right, let's now talk about the Raiders and what you're going to be getting from a depth chart standpoint. Coming into the season, edge rusher was a position I was very curious on how the Raiders would go ahead and they would address it. You had Max Crosby, you had Yannick Ngakoue. What was going to change? The Raiders go ahead, they trade away Yannick Ngakoue for Rocky Ya-Sin straight up, which now as it stands, you have Chandler Jones and Max as your top 2 edge rushers. Malcolm Kuntz, his second year out of Buffalo. Gary Green, don't know if Green's going to end up making the roster because a move like they just went here with Bauer, I could see Bauer and Green battling it out for that 5th edge rusher defensive end spot. You're going to hopefully get a little bit more out of Cleveland Ferrell. Hopefully Malcolm Kuntz excels in a stand-up outside linebacker role, because if you were to ask me, all right, which player is more likely to be a stand-up linebacker, it would be Malcolm Kuntz. Then you could have Cleveland Ferrell put his hand in the dirt, really try to prove that he's worth it entering the fourth year. Obviously, he's not going to get a fifth-year option. But then the other player that is very curious to me is Kyler Fackrell. And Fackrell, his best years have come in a Patrick Graham defense. He is listed as a linebacker, but he is also going to play a little bit of edge. So if you're looking for a 3-4 front, let's say, and you got two outside linebackers and those guys are going to come in on a blitz, I can see Malcolm Kuntz having a good role, and I can also see Fackrell having a good role. So really, the move of Tashawn Bower is more than likely just a depth piece. It's somebody who you're just trying to get a little bit more work out of, and a lot of times you see teams make these type of moves because they're unsexy moves, but when you have 5 preseason games, and remember, the Raiders have 5 preseason games this year since they're in the Hall of Fame game, you see teams go out and they add 1 or 2, 3 extra players just to see what they might be able to do in that extra game. And Bauer, somebody who has the experience with not only the New England Patriots, but also has experience with being able to go up against one of the old Raiders, or I guess I should say one of the new Raiders running back coaches, Kennedy Polamalu. Remember, he was the old running backs coach there for the Minnesota Vikings. Polamalu also got to see him up close. I don't know how much that stuff has an impact on when these type of signings go down, but I do think it at least has some sort of an impact. So after I went through all that depth chart stuff, do you think that Bauer ends up making the 53-man roster? So remember, the cuts, they're not going to happen until August. So Bauer is going to be on the team unless he gets cut before then. And sure, it ends up happening after the draft. It ends up happening after June 1st when you have certain players on your overall roster in terms of how much you're going to have to pay them here or there. But the question is this: will the Raiders cut Tayshawn Bauer? How about we do that? Will the Raiders cut Tayshawn Bauer before 53-man? Type Y for yes, or I want you to go ahead and type your N for no. So I know I'm not at the normal Chat Sports studios. I actually walked into work today and realized that I was off, and I didn't check the schedule. It's all right. I made a video for y'all anyway. I was able to turn it into a half day. But I'm committed to being able to keep you guys up to date. I'm committed to the excellence that we're hoping for going into the season. And I don't really know if there's been too much more excitement around a Raiders team. Definitely not since I've been covering them. And today was voluntary workouts. And the thing that I always look for on voluntary workouts is, do your stars show up? Because we know Derek Carr's not going anywhere. We know Davante Adams, his job's safe. Chandler Jones, job is safe. However, with voluntary workouts starting, there's that key word, voluntary. Those players don't have to show up. And a lot of times veterans don't show up. What I love that I saw today, Derek Carr showed up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, the sun wasn't even out yet. You love to see that out of your leader. Davante Adams showed up. Chandler Jones showed up. Darren Waller showed up. And I hope that a lot of these rumors that have been out there on the internet, oh, Darren Waller wants to get traded, this and that, and I get it. I've talked about it too, because you got to remember, my job is to talk about the hypothetical as well. And if somebody asks me a question during a mailbag, I will give my hypothetical, and I will answer the question of, okay, this is what could potentially happen with Darren Waller. If Darren Waller is showing up to voluntary workouts, I think this all just about squashes any rumor you could potentially have about Waller potentially wanting to get traded. That doesn't mean that he doesn't want a new contract. I'm sure every NFL player wants a new contract. But I definitely think the fact that he showed up today during voluntary workouts just squash all the Darren Waller trade rumors, squash the fact that he might potentially sit out, because today proved me that Waller is here to be a Raider, and that really makes me very excited because I know fans want a commitment to excellence. And I say it all the time, Raiders, they have the best fans in all sports. Raider Nation is built very, very differently. The passion that you show every single day, the passion that you just show on the Raiders Report YouTube channel or just go on social media. People are insane, but that's why I love Raider Nation. And the reason why people are insane and the reason why people, I think, sometimes act the way they do on social media is because these players are getting paid millions of dollars to play a game. And yes, it is a game. And yes, it's a dangerous game, and I get all that. But at the end of the day, like, all I want is somebody who shows me day in and day out they're committed to be a Raider. Max Crosby showed up today. Max just got a brand new fat deal. When you see players like Jonathan Abram, Divine Diablo, Brian Edwards, all those guys are showing up. And that got me really, really excited because I actually talked to a Raiders player over the weekend, and he straight up told me, he was like, I don't know the last time that there's been this much excitement into the locker room, and it's feeding off onto the fans as well. And I think we see it too. There's a very special chance that the Raiders could do something that a lot of people might not think that they could do. But I think the people that actually follow the team closely and see how much talent this team has, and we haven't even hit in the draft, plus you have another $20 million in free agency that you could potentially spend after June 1st. I mean, if you're able to bring in one of these top free agents, like a Honey Badger, like a Stephon Gilmore, maybe even a Darrell Williams as a right tackle, this team has the potential to be very, very special. And I am happy, and I put it on Twitter, and I put it on Instagram, that these players showing up shows me that there is a commitment to excellence, which I love to see. If you want to be able to keep up to date on even more news, more rumors, I know a lot of stuff happens in the offseason, and believe it or not, I actually don't live at my studio, and for me to get there, it takes me about 15 minutes to be able to run up the street, hop in the studio, get all that kind of stuff done. But I'm going to be making at-home videos. I'm also going to be posting stuff on social media to make sure that you do not miss any information, because when you're covering an NFL team the way that we do at Chat Sports, a lot of stuff happens. So it's just a friendly reminder again to please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be live tomorrow. And if you want even more exclusive videos, even more exclusive content, I actually put out on Locals today, which the link's in the comment section below, and it's also going to be in the description, RaidersReport.locals.com. I put out an exclusive mock draft for y'all, breaking down every single pick that our local supporters went ahead and made. And if you're wondering, Mitch, why would I become a supporter? It's 2 extra videos, it's an extra live show, and you have a lot more power on Locals to influence what type of topics I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do things like Mornings with Mitch, which is simply me having an idea that pops up into my head, and then I go ahead and I break it down on Locals. And the video that I think I'm going to do this week is going to be around a sleeper player who really, really excited to see what he's able to do this upcoming season. So I decided to make a home video. Sorry, Chuck was not very interested, as you guys can see. He's more interested in playing with his ball down here. So what's up, Chuck? Tell everyone to say hi. You want to say hi? You say hi? Yeah, no. All right, so Chuck's not interested. Hopefully you guys are. That's why you made it this far in the video. I'm going to get out of here. But remember, the Raiders, they went ahead. They signed Tashawn Bower, the edge rusher, previously played with the Vikings, previously played with the New England Patriots. Had his best year back in 2020 with New England. 11 total tackles, started 3 games. Also had a sack that season. The undrafted free agent out of LSU. Kind of cool. I'm seeing he went to Somerville High School in New Jersey, or Somerville, New Jersey was where he's from. Immaculata. That's kind of crazy. I know a lot of people actually from Immaculata, from Livingston, New Jersey, and his birthday is only 2 days away from mine, so hopefully that's good news. Bauer, appreciate that you tweeted out that you're excited to be in the silver and black. I'm excited to have you show up to work every day, have that commitment to excellence, and you got a shot to make the 53. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Monday. I'll be back tomorrow for Raiders Report Live, and in the meantime, Raiders went ahead and they signed Bauer. Oh, I guess I should also do this. If you made it this far in the video, then go ahead and click this button right here to get more exclusive Raiders videos here on YouTube. If you like what you saw today and you're like, you know what? I might want to watch more draft, more free agency. There's going to be a button right over here. And then to make sure that you never miss anything, I'm going to put a subscribe button somewhere around this area. So make sure you click it and then subscribe to the Raiders Report.